I'm searching for some sunshine. Just need one ray through the dark skies. I gotta look for the bright side. I know we're gonna be alright. I know we're gonna be alright.
Hello, and welcome to the Counter-Strike University Challenge here. We're on the NUEL stream. I'm Rapjoss, and that is Dr. Pi. Mr. John Chia, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. There's a bit of a change up to the normal scene, you know. We've moved out from just the UK boundaries, so we're going to see Warwick Stretchy Boys, our reigning UK NUEL champions, take on Ireland's Trinity College Dublin, I do believe. And
Yeah,
so that'll be a best
absolutely.
one.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting prospect. Of course, we have both the UK and Ireland universities taking part in this competition. We also have a representative from Germany as well, which is the Bielefeld University. Actually came second place in their particular competition because they weren't able to get a hold of the winners of that particular league. And we also have a representative from Poland as well. It's the Polish-Japanese University of Technology is the only way I'm going to say that. So I won't attempt the Polish, but
We can try
yeah,
it
they'll
later
be
on.
in this one as well. But the first matchup will be the UK versus Ireland, a good old sort of homegrown affair.
Yeah, and it looks to be quite a good one. Reading up about the Irish team, that they do seem to be that kind of pug style. Their map pool favors towards Mirage, Cache, Inferno, which is definitely the kind of puggy area that the teams usually play on. So it won't be out of the comfort zone for Warwick. Warwick, a team that has a very wide map pool and should easily be able to kind of win at the veto, even though it is a kind of best of one stage so far. So that being said, I think Warwick should cleanly have this. We don't know much about the Irish team, but Warwick being Warwick, I truly believe in them.
The bias is very much showing already. There we go. There'll probably be a few complaints about that, but absolutely. You're quite right. You quite rightfully say we don't know all that much about this Irish team on this particular British stream, and of course on the Irish stream they probably don't know much about Warwick either. So it's kind of it can go both ways there. But this is going to be a very interesting matchup because just for that exact reason, these teams won't have competed against each other ever before.
Yeah.
Usually inside the university scene, you get the same sorts of universities, the same sorts of names getting themselves to the top of their particular splits. But when you have a completely unknown team that you haven't competed against before, then that is a big issue, both for Warwick and, of course, for Trinity as well.
Yeah, definitely. And with these teams in your in kind of that top echelon of the teams, they do play each other fairly regularly. In that a lot of the players know each other, kind of they play in ECA teams together, and so the kind of bond there. They know each other. They know how they play. It's very easy to get demos and analyze and review and kind of build upon that scene. And so branching out, this could be a bit of the unknown for Warwick, facing against this Irish team that I don't think they'll have much information on. And so if things start slipping away early on into the map, it could be a bit of a snowball effect there, just not knowing how to counter what they're doing, what they know, and kind of how to adapt mid-game. But they do have their coach, Alan, who should be able to help kind of boost their confidence and just bring them further back into the game if that unlikely situation is to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was waiting for that comment, someone saying make your bed. I cannot make my bed. It's connected to the wall on the other side. I can't stuff it down there at all. So there we go. You're just going to have to deal with the way that is right now. But yeah, absolutely. Of course, we have this first semi-final with the UK versus Ireland. You also got the other semi-final going on as well, going on between Germany and Poland as well. And there's still big question marks about how that team can perform. But the thing is, I expect the Germans to actually come out really, really strong in this one because their whole philosophy in terms of Counter-Strike being more popular on mainland Europe, for example, than it ever was here in the UK, especially when you consider CSGO 1.6 or CS 1.6. And, well, we had a little bit more of a scene during Source, but it seems to be a bit more of a culture there. And, of course, they have a more established pro scene as well. So the Germany, Bielefeld, if they manage to put Poland down, at least in the semi-finals, then they would be a threat to whoever meets them in the grand finals.
Yeah, and that's quite an interesting point you raised there, being kind of the history of esports in Poland and Germany, especially coming from the Counter-Strike Global Offensive scene, where we don't really see much of UK or Ireland in that fight kind of reach that top level, only seeing a couple of pros be there. Pardon me. So it is quite interesting to see that. Will the kind of infrastructure there be there for these German and Polish teams that kind of have the aspiring pros that are always up there, kind of reaching that top level of pro scene? And so, but coming down to the university level, I do think Warwick are that kind of team that has put in a lot of effort to kind of get where they are, and they are hard grinders. And so, in my opinion, I think they'll take this tournament with a breeze. Unless there are some superstar players coming out from some of these other teams, then it'll be quite easy for them. Warwick did have an unfortunate loss, their first best of 3 loss since their kind of new inception, bringing in Nigel, and probably their first best of 3 loss in a long time before that, to Portsmouth, who are boasting 5 ECA main players. So
yeah,
they're kind of a bit of a shaky ground, coming just back from winning their winter season prize, going to the Katowice Major. So we'll see how fresh they are.
Yeah, absolutely. You quite rightfully mentioned they got the opportunity to go and see the IEM Katowice Major as VIPs, all expenses paid, as thanks to the prize that the NUEL were able to pull out for last season. So that must have been an absolutely fantastic experience for them. Having been to a major myself, went to the London Major, I know that whole atmosphere is absolutely insane, and I very much hope they enjoyed it. And especially that Ents game in the semi-finals, that was absolutely crazy. I would have loved to be there, but they got 5 tickets and they were able to go and see, almost history being made. Events were able to actually win the grand final, but they saw history being made in another way with Astralis getting yet another major.
Yeah, definitely. And the back-to-back itself just being kind of something that kind of parallels with Warwick being that back-to-back victor looking to make another kind of spring season victory. So we are playing kind of separately. Ooh, my voice is going today. Kind of making a bit of separate history, try to go for 4 tournaments back-to-back. And if they win this tournament, this little uni challenge here tonight, that's kind of another title to put on their shelves. And their record is looking mighty fine with a lot of first place victories.
Yeah, it is. And of course, we alluded to a little bit earlier that it's not often that these teams do get to compete against each other, but that was a slight bit of a lie, because we do have the University Esports Masters as well, the big entire all-encompassing European competition for esports, usually known for its League of Legends competition, but we have sent there has been CSGO competitions like that on occasion, of course not in recent times, but if we were able to get some big European University CSGO tournament on, maybe this will be just the first stepping stone into be able to do that.
Yeah, and definitely so. It is kind of the first international chance some of these teams have had to play against other teams from different countries. Obviously, with scrims and stuff, and Counter-Strike being such an open game, it's not difficult to find teams from different countries, and the university scene is full of international talent, having international students come in and help bolster your roster. So it'll be looking good for the teams. But it is quite an interesting prospect to see how far Warwick can go on the international stage. I'm sure there are many more university esports scenes out there in different countries that we could potentially link up with in the future to run more international tournaments. So we've got to give a bit of a shout out to Ad, the CSGO product manager for the NUEL, who has helped organize this event. And Without people
Helps
like
out.
him, it wouldn't really be possible to see kind of some of these aspects of University Counter-Strike.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. I believe this entire idea of having these 4 universities, these 4 countries actually get together was the idea of the Irish guys, at least as far as I'm being told. So it's a fantastic idea. I definitely want to see more of this. Maybe we can work in some sort of international university CSGO league, sort of that's being able to avoid the dates of the national leagues themselves. That would be absolutely brilliant to see. But as we're still waiting actually for players to get themselves in the server, how much of a mess do you think this veto is actually going to be? Because obviously, some teams, or at least Warwick, would definitely like to get themselves like demo reviews of the other team, get themselves VODs. Do you think they've gone as far, even in this quote unquote friendly competition, to be able to go and watch some of the VODs from the ICE competition?
I don't think they will have gone that far. I don't think it's the easiest kind of source to find some of these demos for some of these teams, with obviously being unfamiliar with the kind of the system that they play on. So it'd be very difficult to find VODs without them kind of offering them up to watch. I think the veto for a best of one, it will kind of favor Warwick again, like I said, due to their map pool. But
Okay.
I think the Irish team they'll ban it down to the pluggy map. So I'd probably expect to see an Inferno come out. You know, a map that Warwick has played a lot in recently, winning pretty much all their games on it. And well, they win all their games on pretty much every night. But coming into this, I think Warwick just get to play their own game. Don't get too into it mentally. Just don't think about too much what they're doing. Just think about what you're doing. Just pull off what Warwick are known for. Just grind out the games, win the maps, and move on to the next stage. And don't think about it too much. Just try and be kind of as clinical as they can be
Yeah.
on the night, and kind of prove to the other countries why they are the best in the UK and probably the best in Europe.
We'll just have to wait and see. Of course, one of the big strengths for Warwick has been their mechanics. Not just their sort of bare bones CS, if you know what I mean. Just using that buddy system all around the map on the T side. Always someone there for trade. It's not often that I see Warwick try to make an entry and it's just one guy all alone. They have their team structure just absolutely on lockdown, and some teams just completely collapse under that sort of pressure. And that's what Ireland and maybe the rest of the teams in this competition have to be worried about.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, nothing's a guarantee. Of course, this might even be a close map depending on how things go as well, because you know we haven't had any experience with Trinity. You know, Warwick themselves haven't had any experience with Trinity either. So I'm very excited to see how this one turns out. And since we are in a little bit of a delay here trying to get those players in the server, they were told 7 p.m., but there we go. So sometimes things don't go our way, but you've already made your predictions known, and my prediction is kind of, I think Warrior will take it, but I think it'll be a little bit closer than what you're alluding to. I'm just wondering, since we do have a couple of people in the chat right now, and it might be a biased chat considering this is the UK stream, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be a UK win or an Ireland win? I want to see at least some participation in the chat here. There we go. I haven't seen. Obviously, we have to wait a little bit to try and see these, but I think I already know what's going to be said.
Yeah, and I think coming into this, I don't know how much preparation the Irish team will have done. I don't know how much they play. We are really in the unknown here, so the game itself can be going either way, and we'll just have to kind of wait it out and see how they do start playing off. And as you said, Warwick do boast that kind of clinical buddy system entering together, and it's just kind of one of the nuances of being such a long-standing team. They've been together for almost 2 years now at their core roster, and when they are together for so long, they know how to play off each other. They know the team chemistry. They work well as a group, and that's what makes them so strong. They have good mechanical aimers. They have good teamwork. They have good fundamentals, and that's just going to make it so much tougher for Ireland if they want to kind of come into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of UK. Well, seeing UK. Hizzy has gone for Ireland.
Well, we all know about Hizzy.
Yeah, Hizzy, a known figure in the UK university CS scene. Not feeling at all confident in Ireland. Maybe there's a little bit of a grudge there. Maybe,
yeah.
just maybe.
So hopefully we'll get some of the players in soon. We're just waiting for 2 of the Irish players, and then we can kind of move into the veto stage. But yeah, without knowing too much about this Irish team, it's not a lot to talk about. Moving into the next stage, we'll find a best of 3 in the final between, obviously, one of these 2 teams and the winner of their Poland-Germany game, and that'll be a lot more interesting because when it is to brought to a best of 3, there are more factors that are in play. You know, you've got the map pool. The map pool is very vital in how to work the veto in your favor. Choosing sides to start on, all these factors kind of start to play more into a best of 3 than in a best of 1.
Yeah, they do. So, obviously people do like to complain about best of 1 sometimes, especially when it comes to the upper tiers of Counter-Strike competition. It's very big potential for upsets as well. But it's just one of these things that these teams have to deal with. Most, Warwick especially, unsure entirely of the format of the way the Irish competition works, but they would have played a lot of best of 1s getting up to this point.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be too much of a worry for them. I think they'll be entirely comfortable with how things are going.
Yeah, in a best of 1, it does kind of favor the underdogs somewhat, allowing you to kind of just bring the veto more in your favor. Just put it onto that puggy map or ban out the maps that you're just completely not good at. You have kind of a very limited pool that you can work with, and it just becomes a lot more easier in a best of 1 for an underdog to win, because all you have to do is get 16 rounds. You can dominate the CT economy, you can keep them on eco, you can just grind out CT rounds and build up a good kind of round safety net for yourself, and all these factors could come in the favor of Ireland or in the favor of Warwick for that same point. So it is really all up in the air, but we have got the Irish Collegiate Esports in chat, so they do run a best of 1 throughout all the tournament until the semis and finals.
Ooh, that's a bit of a change from how we do things. We
Ireland.
have what is basically 6 rounds of best of 1s. Then the first round of the playoffs, the top 16 playoffs, double elimination is best of 1s, and then we have best of 3s all the way from that point forwards, even through the lower bracket. So the lower bracket team that gets themselves to the lower finals, if they've had to run the gauntlet all the way through, then they've played a lot of best of 3s. But yeah, that's very, very interesting to know. Thank you very much to the Irish Collegiate Esports currently lurking in our Twitch chat right now. We're just waiting for one more of those Irish players to get themselves up onto the server. And if we haven't shown the graphics already, maybe we should show them right about now just to see how things are going to be laid out here for this particular competition. We can get ourselves a pretty simple bracket, all things considered. We have this competition between the UK and Ireland, at least on this particular map. Germany and Poland on the other side of the bracket. Winner for each goes into a grand final best of 3. And then we get to see a little bit of an example of who is actually competing here. We got the Warwick Stretchy Boys, University of Warwick, first place in the NUEL CSGO University Championship for Winter 2018. We have Trinity Force, Trinity College Dublin, first place in the ICE CSGO Winter Challenge. And then we have from the European mainland, we've got the Germans, we got Bielefeld Luminosity, second place in the Uniliga CSGO Championship for the winter split for them. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the availability of the first place in that particular competition. And we also have PJ80K from the Polish league as well, the EDU Esports League CSGO. So those are the 4 universities going to be competing in this evening's games. But the first game will be, at least on this stream, between UK and Ireland. And we are very, very close to be getting going here, John.
Yeah, I think whilst we have some of the kind of time to wait, we can have a little bit of a mess around. So do you want to try and pronounce this Polish university's
hang on.
the name? So I'll give you a second.
Trying to pronounce I'm going to butcher this a huge amount. So if there are any Polish viewers that are watching or people who know the Polish language, I am very sorry for what is about to happen to your language. But the Polsko-Japonska Akademia Technik Komputerowicz. That's the way I'm going to say. That's the way I'm going to say it. Now you have to try, John.
Polsko-Japonska Akademia Technik Komputerowicz. I don't know. It's quite a nice name, you know.
It is. It
But
is quite a
it,
nice
it
name.
does
Yeah.
seem kind of a bit of a niche university. Translated, apparently, it means the Polish Japanese or Computer Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does seem like a bit of a niche field,
Bit
you
of a
know.
niche. I mean, they won the Polish league, so they can't be too shabby indeed. And of course, of course, when we have, because we have the top universities in the UK in terms of academia are Oxford and Cambridge, but they are nowhere to be seen in terms of esports competition. Maybe they
Wow.
have a little bit more focus on their studies, and we don't. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but we are relatively close to be able to get our vetoes in. Maybe we can get an update from Irish Collegiate Esports as to where their final player is. Maybe that can
Apparently,
happen.
he's updating his PC. He's got 3 minutes, about 2 minutes ago.
Okay, so we have a couple more moments to fill.
Yeah. So that being said, 3 minutes will turn to 10, and then it'll take another 10 to join the server. So we got a lot of time to fill, and not a lot of content to fill it with.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh well, we'll just have to get on with this. But yeah, like as I said before, I mean, I would be totally up for more competitions exactly like this because I know, for example, the United States, they have a very big collegiate esports scene, and that's just the Americans in a nutshell because they like to make college sports or university sports completely blown out of proportion for them. Have you seen some of the college American football games? They're just like they sell out like 80,000 seat stadiums. So they're very big on their esports, on their sports and their esports as well. There was I can't remember exactly which university it was, but there was one university that basically built an entire building just for esports and esports scholarships as well. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, and it's good to see kind of how thriving the kind of university esports scene is over in America. That obviously, like you said, there are a lot of buildings dedicated to esports, a lot of esports labs, and kind of a lot of progress being made. And we are kind of starting to see that in the UK with universities like Roehampton, Kiel, Staffordshire, all kind of starting to bring on esports degrees, all bring in computer labs dedicated for gaming. And it's kind of like, it's good to see that the universities are now trying to support the infrastructure for esports, kind of recognizing it more. And it can only really get better in the future.
Yeah, it can, and you quite rightfully mentioned those courses, those esports specific courses now that go on in some universities in the UK and no doubt around the world as well. There are two other casters for CSGO for our split of competition that are actually doing an esports course. So they're looking to do this for as a full-time job at the end of it. Maybe not casting, maybe not playing, but in other areas of esports as well. And I think that's what universities are also looking at. They are very well aware of the fact that not everyone's going to become a professional player, but there's more of a chance that if you're a creative mind, for example, doing video editing, or you're doing stage setup and live event technology, then esports is a growing sector for those industries as well. So it's not just the playing and the talking about the game; it's the actual putting the events on as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice to see that the degrees do focus more on the kind of the wide variety of things that go on in the esports scene. It's not always about the players. It's not always about the on-screen talent. It's also about the guys behind production. Behind production today, we've got Phil30, kind of producing the whole stream, and then we've also got the big Robert Thomas, BCG, kind of doing the observing for us. And it is good to have a lot more people helping back up the things that help put the stream out there. And so, looking for more things to fill on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a computer science degree, and thinking about it, like, if I had to go back and a couple of years and try and figure out a course I wanted to do at university, it wouldn't be esports though. I think that's still a little bit too much of a niche for me. But something to do with live events or sort of some sports journalism or something like that would be absolutely something I would want to go into. And well, now if people do want to make that esports specific, they do have a course to go into as well. So it's some people that's really going to fit with what they want to do for potentially the rest of their lives, but you never know how long esports are going to be around.
So we're getting some questions in from chat. We'll do a bit of a Q&A. So if you want to fire in your questions, we're here to kind of help you out. So question from Keel Esports is Raptros, why blue bed sheets, not purple?
I mean, but blue is kind of one of the colors of my university, so I can, try to say that that's it. But they're the cheapest bed sheets that I could find in Fremont. So, university budget is the excuse for the mismatched bedding.
Yeah. I was gonna say, why is your pillow just not the same as your bed sheets? We'll wait for some more questions to come in. There's got to be something to fill. Can I sign your body? Yeah, I can do. It's a paid experience, but
no joke.
If we both make it to the next Fragsock clan, we'll do it. Predictions.
I have had someone ask for my autograph before while casting an event. One person. That was the most surreal thing ever. Because it was during one of my racing broadcasts where I went to Germany to commentate. And there was this guy that seemed really enthusiastic going up to me. Oh, can you sign my thing? And I'm just like,
yeah, why not?
Well, my brain was saying no, but I had to say yeah. Because I was like, I don't know what to do. But body part signing, though, I haven't done that. So maybe you should offer me that.
We got Ewan asking for predictions. So I said it would be a bit of a stomp for work for the entire tournament. You said it would be a little bit closer for work, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit closer. Do you think there will be a NUEL FIFA league? I have no idea. I don't have any power to be able to influence the decisions being made by the NUEL.
I'm gonna say it's in the workings, possibly.
Ooh,
no spoilers. No information behind that. I'm just gonna say it's a possibility. And FIFA is one of those esports that is growing and it's getting a lot of backing between different or there are other Premier League clubs initiative to kind of back esports teams per club. So it's quite good. Portsmouth versus Warwick round 2 predictions. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm going for Portsmouth. I've talked to Bensky. He says he has his 5 players playing again, so they won't lose this time.
Yeah, of course, Portsmouth. Yeah, once they get all the players on the server at the same time, they are a very, very potent sort of enemy for anyone, even Warwick, and of course beat them in the best of 3 just earlier on in the split. So the Portsmouth, if they're able to get all 5 of their players playing on any particular day, they have a very good shot at this season of the NUEL Championship. But
yeah,
if they can't, then they're just gonna have to survive any time where they don't have those players.
And there won't be much left with it being in the lower bracket if they don't have the 5 players. Then if they lose, they drop out to the Swiss League. We got Mr. Centricotta asking, is Dust 2 the best map on CSGO? Apparently there is a wrong answer and a right answer. And the correct answer is Dust 2 is the worst map in CSGO.
He's only gone and said it.
And we're going to have to go all in on Inferno. I'm all in on Inferno. Best map.
My best map in terms of performance is Overpass. And I think I've already said that on the broadcast before. Don't even know why. It just seems like I have a very good win percentage on there. I have no idea. But the worst map for me is Mirage, though. I just hate Mirage with a passion. Usually because I'm the Bianca that gets no kills. But what can you do?
I've had to hang up my my playing coat. I've stepped back. I've gone. You know what? I'm washed up as a player. I'll take on casting. Same with BCG. He's hanging up his playing jacket. He's going, nah, I'm done. I'm an observer now. You got these veteran players. 2 of the top names in all of the NUEL. You got Robert, BCG, Thomas. Don't have to tell you what BCG stands for. And obviously, you got me coming 3rd once. So, we're the best.
My best finish was like 14th out of like 100 and something. So I guess that's all right. But it's nowhere near playoffs. And, my university haven't gotten to playoffs since that time in summer where we hit the finals. That's basically...
About 5 years ago.
About 5 years ago or something like that, yeah. That was like the last split of the really, really awesome roster that we had. So that was probably one of our last chances to be able to get to anywhere that far in the competition.
We won't talk about what I did to the Derby roster.
What did you do to the Derby roster?
Crushed it between my fingers.
Yeah, and I was streaming that game. I was streaming that game on my own Twitch channel as well.
Imagine disbanding your team because Kieran Q, the Minecraft pro, has come in and broken it down.
Apparently, the final Irish player is connecting to the server right now, so we may be released from this internal torment of me and John trying to fill for God knows how long at this point.
What is the best shotgun in the game? I'm going with the XM. Yeah, it'll be the XM.
And the XM, yeah. I mean, you're probably not wrong in that one. Everyone likes to sit on top of the hut and nuke and try and mow down a couple of players from that position.
Where it's viable.
The one position.
I'll tell you what. Gold Novas have an uncanny ability to one-shot me with a Nova out of nowhere. Full armor. I've never been done in more. I get one pumped like it's nothing. That's why Centricity thinks the Nova is the best shotgun, because he's Gold Nova.
That's why you have, so many difficult games when you're trying to Smurf, is because you don't expect Gold Novas to play the way they do. But,
honestly, they play on another level. you have like standard Counter Strike, and then you have Team Counter Strike, and Gold Nova Counter Strike just goes like that. It's just elevated, and it's just like no idea what's going on.
Gold Novas, they just exist on a different plane of existence from us mere mortals. There we go.
They've got the aim of globals, but they've got the brain that just works like they're playing Overwatch, and they just dome you out.
No, those are MG1 and MG2 players. They have decent aim, but they just don't have any IQ points whatsoever. That's the way I'm gonna say that.
Sorry for anyone that is Gold Nova or MG1 in this chat. We'll do a poll. Anyone that is Gold Nova or MG, if you say so in chat, we already have Hizzy. So
I don't think they want to say so in this chat with how we've been talking about them. I'm LEM. That's still not good, but
I feel
still.
personally. Sorry, Atomical. You play PUBG, mate. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. If you could add one Overwatch ability to CSGO, what would it be? I don't know.
I don't play Overwatch, so you're all alone here, John.
I play. I don't know. Nothing. The game's broken. I'm actually
broken meta.
How much you pay for that, Hizzy? I can offer you a better rate. Love you.
We also have Tedster from the Derby Uni here. That's the name I recognize. Drinks at LAN with the Uni boys. Well, that requires getting to LAN first, Teddy. Sorry to say.
Oh, could make it Prague sock.
I'm burning my own university here. What is this?
We are still waiting for one player to join the server. We're sorry for the wait. It's
a bit of a delay.
We've got more excuses being put in the chat now by the Irish team. So by the time they get into the game, hopefully it'll be kind of a bit of a crushing win either way, just so we can move on to the next stage and catch up on lost time. But aren't we all having a good time here? You know.
Knowing German efficiency, they've probably 16-0'd Poland already and are waiting for us. Like, they just want to get themselves to that grand final and make sure we're put in our place. But we'll just have to see.
Rinse the UK uni scene. This should be cool. Yeah, I'll deal with anyone that comes at me. You know, put a player or a team in there. I'll give my opinion. This is honesty with John Shear coming out.
Bit late to the party for Marky. Hey, that's someone I know as well from Loughborough.
It is going to be a best of one.
It is going to be a best of one, and then we'll have a best of three finals against the winner of this match with the winner of the Germany and Poland matchup.
Niels. Niels has possibly the weirdest keyboard I've seen. He's got one of those Microsoft ergonomic ones, so apparently that just makes you a good CS player. When I was not benched for most of the season, I took myself off the roster.
You benched yourself.
Hazard, he's a big lad. He talks a big game. Can't really pack it.
So you were benched. Yeah, is it actually being benched if you just bench yourself?
Well,
that's the
no,
big issue.
because I bench myself, but I'm brought off the bench by myself most of the time. So I'm just taking a relaxed sit down. You don't want to be standing up all day on the pitch. Sometimes you got to sit down, chill out, take a break, recuperate, come back on, take out some teams. So it's another day's work.
You got to give the enemy team a break from the Mac 10 rushes every round sometimes, don't you?
Honestly, I don't think I do better playing only Mac 10 and MP9 for an entire game than if I use rifles. Do you think you would beat Oak in a 1 versus 1? No. Have you seen Oak? Let me tell you about Oak. Let me tell you
We have
about
time,
Gabriel.
so let's just do it.
Oh, they're doing
the
the
vetoes.
veto? Oh,
There we go.
The UMP is the worst SMG in the game, Peter. Wait, there's not 5 in the server, so...
Well, we're on a GoTV delay, so obviously.
Alright, maybe, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But there we go.
Oak is a star player, but we've got the vetoes coming in, so Overpass Ban coming in from Trinity College Dublin. Been a while, I forget their names. Cash, yeah. Typical ban coming out from Warwick to try and stay away from the pug maps. Did lose to Manchester on Cash last summer, which is a bit of an upset because nobody should lose to Manchester. Mirage ban coming out from the Irish team, which is a bit unusual, saying as they said that they were quite good on Mirage. Ban coming out from Warwick, which again they're a team that is quite well versed on all the maps, so it is quite odd to see them kind of put themselves towards Inferno, which I would believe is the final map.
Yeah, looks like train ban for Trinity.
Unless
so
they-
if they have done their homework, they know, train being one of Warwick's best maps. So that one's gone. Dust 2, so it is Inferno. This one's going to be very, very interesting. We'll get that loaded up onto the server, but Inferno, I haven't seen much of Warwick actually play on this particular map. Granted, I haven't been able to view many of the broadcasts this season because, third-year university student things. But, yeah, this is... The only word that I can say for this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and Warwick are a team that have played a lot of Inferno recently in the past couple of weeks of NUEL. Coming in last season, I think they played it once and haven't played it for a couple of months beforehand, so they weren't very... They obviously had their basic default strategies and how to play the map, but they haven't played it in a long time. But coming into the season, the teams are a lot more moving towards Inferno and just try to play them on it. They're getting a couple of rounds, but nobody has kind of really beaten them yet on it. So hopefully we'll get into the server and we can finally cast a game. Although, maybe for the delight of some, we'll stop roasting their unis. But to the despair of others, as they do enjoy me.
The thing is, because we've seen Kiel Esports up in the chat before, and I don't have anything bad to say about Kiel. They're our best buddies. They're Derby's best buddies.
I mean, what can you say about Kiel?
What can you say about them?
He's a bit of a mad lad, isn't he?
Maybe. I need this game to start at this point, otherwise I'm just gonna die.
I'm running out of content. I'm being squeezed dry right now. I was like a rock to begin with, but now I'm nothing.
Yeah.
As if you're roasting the Ollie shouts. I'm not roasting him. He's a legend, He's a CS Office 1.6 player, Played at the upper ends of the UK scene, played with the likes of Henry G, Rattlesnake, all the big namers. If I name any more, I might actually start aging.
Yeah, but we're getting players into the server right now. Just have to wait for that delay to catch up. But Warwick, we will have knife round here because obviously it's it's a quote-unquote decider map, even though it's best of one. So the sides won't be set just yet. But I cannot wait to get this started, if only for my own sanity. Someone says, I'm here, Pi. What content do you want?
Rana, we're gonna need to crack out the UniHub memes. Get the clips out. Start putting them in chat. If you get banned, I'm a moderator. I'll unban you. But get all the streamable clips out. Start dropping them. Get people busy for the next 2 minutes until this game gets started, and then we can move on to some hopefully good Counter-Strike. As the players are starting to ready up.
Yes, they are. Just one more to be ready, and then we can get off and going for the knife round. So we're waiting for us as casters to type ready. There we go. That's going to be BCG's job, but there we go. Knife round going to be beginning in 5 seconds. We finally have a game here, everyone, on Inferno. Warwick Stretchy Boys versus the Trinity Force. UK versus Ireland. Let's see how this one starts off for the knife round. Of course, on Inferno, the sides are kind of important. Of course, a slight CT-sided bias right now is Trinity. Okay.
I think they're doing
I don't know if they're
lot
memeing
more.
this already.
Irish knife rounds are a lot more deadly than you
Irish
think.
knife rounds. There we go. Warwick with the absolute...
Looks like a confident T-side start for the Irish team. As they really want to put themselves on the back foot here. You know, coming into this map, you'd expect to see some kind of seriousness, but when we've been waiting and stalling for 35 minutes, it's safe to say something like that might happen, Raptros, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean... I don't know what this game has in store anymore, if they're going to meme the knife round immediately, but match is going to be live. Warwick going to be starting themselves on the CT side, getting themselves a good amount of armor onto them. Jacob with the smoke and a diffuse kit as well. Always useful to have those on these pistol rounds. 3 towards B. Warwick are going to send their players right now. What the Trinity Force decide to do on their T round. No memes allowed from this point forwards. It looks like they're going to send just a couple of players up towards the apartment here to establish some form of early control. They've got 2 players on towards Banana as well, just making sure that Warwick can't pull a fast one on them with the push on the pistol round.
Yeah, and they've seemed to have baited over a nice little rotation, sending 4 towards A, and they're just going to leave Mason being that B anchor. And so the T side, they did get that map control early. They got Banana control, they got Apps control, and they've just pulled back and they're just going to group up towards Banana. So it's a nice little strategy coming out here, just to kind of deny the information gathering from the CTs. And Mason's going to spot them out here, and he's just going to fall back for the moment. Doesn't want to get caught off guard as the rotation will come in, and they're going to look to retake, and just does get taken down as Padge takes out Mason with a headshot, and Jacob looking to follow up with a trade.
Retake situation now, 4 versus 5 for the Warwick Stretchy Boys to have to manage. Trinity have gotten themselves into very good post-map positions, holding crossfires all over that B bomb site. Stephen, though, looking for the information as Warwick tried to head themselves out through ruins and not having all that much success in terms of that run right now. Padge is here, tapping away, runs out of bullets, but his teammates are there to be able to make sure and to bail him out of the entire situation. The first pistol round will go the way of the Irish here, and that's an absolutely fantastic start as well. Not many casualties on their side.
Yeah, Mason really not really doing his job there. Spots out the 5-man push, but he's really going to have to try and get one headshot there. 5 people coming out of that choke. It's quite easy for the USBs to just tap at the heads, just try and get one pick, fall back, stay alive. But he doesn't find a frag. He dies without getting traded out, and that just allows the T side to get more of a hold on that B site, allowing them to develop into the ruins area and just maintain that map control. But we are going to see the CT side force up here, and Phil is just, or MFX is going to take down a nice deagle headshot onto Padge, who kind of carried through the pistol round for the Irish team. So we're just going to see the CTs fall back and the T side regroup, as they have bought up 3 rifles, or 4 rifles, including 1 Galil. So a heavy investment here, not a lot of economic reward to be gained if they are looking to find a lot of frags here. And so if the CT side do win this, it's going to be great for them, as they will pick up a lot of good weapons.
Yep, they will. Trinity not going for the Dr. Pie strategy of the MAC-10s on the second round after winning the pistol round, but Warwick Stretchy Boys, they have forced up into this. Getting the head armor, getting those deagles out has resulted in 1 kill so far, but Trinity, they'll decide that mid is where they want to at least have a little bit of explore towards, just trying to bait out a couple of rotations once again towards that A side of the map. And Warwick, well, they've got 4 players up towards this side. We've got a lurk coming in here from one of the Irish players trying to creep his way around. In fact, the rest of the Ireland's team will be able to sneak their way around, and now that's going to be the opening for Ekip there on towards Mason. 3B bomb site for the Trinity Force to plant on now, and Warwick, they are still on the A side. They're gonna just decide to save these pistols and armor.
Yeah, Mason there, not really doing justice to kind of his position. You need to stay alive. You don't need to peek. You don't need to aggress. and just peeking around the edge of that smoke just before it blooms, costs him his life, and that allows the bomb site to be kind of free for the T side to enter into. So we're going to see the CT side save up here. They haven't been able to save the UMP that has been dropped by Paj. So kind of good work from them to recuperate into the round. It was looking a little bit bleak losing a player so early on, but good composure from them just to be able to say, all right, we can still win this round. Let's just play it slowly, do what we need to do. And Mason gives them a free pick.
Easy second round going the way of the Irish players right now from Trinity College Dublin. They'll get themselves 2 past Warwick. At this moment in time, Warwick will just have to stick on those pistols for now, I suspect. They're around about $2K each in the bank, so able to buy up a couple of bits of utility, and that will just be about it for them with those pistols being saved from the last round. So Trinity holding the advantage in the 3rd round here as well, at least as far as the weaponry is concerned. Express trying to have a look for a little bit of a deke shot on towards the bridge, but fails that one and falls back, and I haven't seen much of him on the Warwick Stretchy Boys side either, so he's a bit of an unknown when it comes to my knowledge of this Warwick side, but still a lot remains to be seen about what he can do here for the UK boys. Ekip having his little bit of an up towards Banana.
Oh.
Looks at the pre-fire onto CT, but gets a dome to the face instead. Now Express pushing his way through apartments. That's going to be got a fire there. Able to punish that push. Ekip is still looking for this pick on towards the B site, but not able to do so just yet. Trinity working these picks around the map. They've already got one to their name. They're still trying to find the entries onto the B bomb site, and they have found it. Paj managing to find MFX, and now it is only Mason here to try and defend, and he'll be taking out the equation as well. So Trinity Force, they'll be able to get themselves onto that B site now, get that bomb plant down, and still not take too many casualties, just allowing that T side cash to build up.
Yeah, nice little dink coming out early on by Mason onto Ekip, but again, aggression coming out from the CT side, just being punished by the slow default nature of the Irish team. We have got Espresso on the Warwick Stretchy Boys side. Might catch a couple of viewers off guard. That is going to be Nigel, so has been playing
there we go.
for a
I've
while.
got baited.
Just to clarify things, just because we don't want to kind of call him Espresso all the time. We'll just call him Nigel from now on, so associate that in your mind. And we're just going to see Fades and Jacob just left, who is original G again, as the players like to change their Steam names a lot. Not too sure about the Irish side, but nice little round win from them. We've got to put themselves 3-0 up. Fades and Jacob saving their CZ's armor, and Fades finds a nice headshot onto Pageant, looking for a second here. The T side scared, but he finds a second, almost a third, and he's just going to try and reload him back away. And the backwards B-hop allows him to stay alive. That's great economic damage coming out from Fades.
Yeah, absolutely, and I did mention it before those exit kills happened, that Trinity are able to build up a little bit of a bank here. They'll continue to bring these AKs into the next round, but finally, Warwick Stretchy Boys, they have themselves an AWP in their hand. That's going to go on to Jacob right now, looking for any potential early pressure down through mid. Badge over the top of the half wall, though, on top of the logs. So aggressive at this early stage for the Dublin side, and now they're able to find not both those entries. Mason's there for the double spray down with the AUG for the first time in this game. Warwick hold the advantage.
Yeah, Mason with the Kieran Q style spray down, taking down 2 with the AUG at top. Banana was looking really close, 1 bullet away from death, but he just managed to squeeze out both frags there as they were playing a little bit of a bait setup towards Banana, bringing 3 there at the start and just having MFX hide its sandbags as bait. They do win the trades, and so we're going to see the T side trying to get Banana control again. Bomb left in T spawn. As Mason again looking to anchor. He's being left alone all the time at this B site, but with such low HP, he's going to have to play very cautious as he sits so far back. Doesn't want to give away kind of a pick back towards T side and bring it into a 3 versus 3. Just going to see the T's. Just throw a bit of utility out onto the B site. Mason drops his Molotov, and that's going to be key when trying to push later on. T's do regroup and go back towards A at the moment.
Jacob having rotated back over. 2-2 setup for the Warwick Stretchy Boys to try and defend this one. 30 seconds left remaining in the round. Looks like Trinity are going to explode out on towards this A bomb site, but there's a little bit of team flash there from Steven coming down from Boiler, which just stops them in their tracks just for a little bit, but they'll continue on their way. The smoke going down towards Pit for Express, and Jacob's able to pick up 1 with the AWP, 2 with the AWP from the library position. 10 seconds remaining. Bomb down on the site. So Steven, he's not able to win this one. He'll back off through the boiler, and Warwick, they'll get their first round on the board with 4 players left remaining as well. Saving that up into the next round, so important to make sure you don't have any cash issues on that CT side. And that was very well done there from Jacob. Holding things down from the library with that AWP. He was one of the rotators towards the B side of the map, but got the call from his A players that the utility was being used. He was able to get back fast enough and hold things down as well.
Yeah, really well done by the CT side to just maintain their economy, only losing 1 player in that round. So they're able to drop a gun over to MFX and maintain their economy. Doesn't lose out too much. We are seeing if they do lose this round, they could go on eco, or they could force up still. But the T side's economy's looking even worse. All players on less than kind of $1,000. So if they do lose this round, they're just going to go be forced onto an eco or forced buy. But we're going to see Nigel creeping close, and Ekip is edging ever closer back towards him, looking for that entry frag onto the A bomb site. Let's give away his position early on, so Nigel's just going to drop a smoke and as he backs off. So early pressure being put on by the T side, as Ekip seems to be kind of that entry fragger for the team. Was kind of hailed to be the IGL and star player by the Irish side. So we're going to see how that pans out as he does find the first frag onto Jacob, and the T side immediately fall back. 5 versus 4. They have a lot of time to work with and still have some utility. So we're going to see what they can do here.
Absolutely. They've got some form of apartments control. That's about it right now. Mason's just jump spotting here and is able to drop that smoke before the Irish players decide to storm their way up towards Banana. And that smoke is good, especially when you only have 35 seconds left in the round. Just really puts Trinity into a little bit of a situation here where they have to push this smoke, have to get aggressive, and have to commit towards this B side of the map where Mason only still lies in wait, and he's not able to find anything at all because Ekip just steps out and rips off his head. Bomb plant at least coming through from Trinity. Do Warwick even decide to go for this retake?
Yeah, they are edging ever closer, so it does look like they're trying to find an early entry, but if they can't find anything soon, they're not going to be able to retake this. 5 Ts sat in the bomb site. It's going to be so much work, and they're going to have to try and find some isolated duels and win them out right here. As the Ts are edging closer, but Fades finds the 1-tap, gets the first frag, trades come out, and now it's left on a 1 versus 3. Phil takes down 2. So he's left on 1 versus 2 here, edging closer, player in dark and a player in construction. Realizes too much to handle with the bomb ticking ever closer as he backs out. That's going to be a nice T-side win, kind of resetting the economy of the CT side. A really important round for the Irish team.
Trinity get their 4th and reset the economy of Warwick. That is a very big concern for the Brits at this moment in time. MFX was able to save an AWP into this round, but that's the only advanced weaponry that they're going to bring into this one. So MFX, if they're going to try to break back here, then he's going to be one of the pivotal players to be able to do so. He'll actually go towards Banana with that AWP, maybe go for an aggressive pick with this one. Smoke is there to try and cover his tracks, and there we go. There's the pick that Warwick needs. Padge will go down, excuse me, but there's still a lot more work to do here for Warwick.
Yeah, nice early frag as Fade takes down a second. Now they're going to be up 5 versus 3. There are some no armored players on the CT side, and Mason edging ever closer. Flash comes in, does clip Ekip, and Mason doesn't want to take that engagement. But MFX gets taken down, and Mason picks up the open try back around the corner, but he does find the frag on the fadeaway. And now it's going to be left in a 4 versus 2. A little bit of a sloppy play trying to regain that Banana control, but it does pay out in the favor of Warwick as they do look to close out this round. On left in T-spawn for the T's. Kind of a habit being seen here as they're going to look to jump out onto this A site.
Yeah, they're going to have to run back for that one if they want to commit to either one of these 2 sites, and don't know if they've realized that just yet. They still have about 50 seconds remaining on the clock. Still 3 players towards this A site for Warwick, and still going with that strategy of leaving Mason as the solo B anchor. Fade is very low here on the site, but God of Fire able to flick up onto Espresso. Fade hiding himself behind the box then, has to buy so much time here, but Warwick lands the headshot and lands the spray onto Stephen as well. Warwick, they're able to break back here, John.
Yeah, Fade's doing a lot of work so far. 6 kills, all probably with the CZ75. Just doing so much work for the team. Being definitely one of the crucial and key star players for the Warwick Stretchy Boys. Looking to move further into the NUEL and into this match today. we're going to see the T side go on a little bit of a force buy. 1 AK, 2 UMPs, and 2 upgraded pistols. Jacob almost hits the timing with the ult, but just turns around at the last second.
Yeah, Trinity Force now on a force buy as Jacob can't find any of these frags pushing him. Finally finds Ekip. Is that going to be the only one he's going to find? Pages do a lot of work on the site as well, but Patch with a double dink with the UMP. Lindsay also chiming in with the kill with the P250. And now Expresso now, one of the only players to hold down this A-bomb site, and he will go down to the AWP recovered there from Lindsay. So they're able to get the bomb plant down here at Trinity Force once again. Another retake situation for the Stretchy boys, and now, you know, since they broke back on the last round, they're going to be broke back again, I guess, is the way I'm going to say that one. Rounds going either way, I think is the correct phrase. But Mason, just having a little bit of an explore towards the top mid position, just try and clear out some of these close angles to give his team a little bit, well, give himself and MFX a little bit more space to work with. Try and limit the fights that you can perhaps take. MFX will spot one in the mini pit, but decides not to go for it. Trinity Force very, very established, and they're able to win their 5th round. So this CT side not exactly going the way that Warwick would have wanted it to go right now. And Trinity, well, they'll be able to hide in the corner and save their weaponry. None of them going down very low on that initial entry, but this is where things start to get a little bit scary for Warwick.
Yeah, definitely. They are trying to force back into each round. They're not giving up these early rounds. They keep on forcing back. Just try to battle out the economy. Just try to win through. And we're going to see them buy up again here. We're going to see 2 Orgs, an AK, and AWP, and a M4A1S. Bit unusual to see the A1S being used when the M4A4 is so much more prevalent, and the Org just coming into meta so much more. That is kind of a bit of a rare sight to see the A1S, but a really sloppy round coming out from Warwick, where Jacob just allows the Tees to just barrel out mid, doesn't allow much map control, doesn't really communicate well with fades as he doesn't know if they're coming up short or long, and turns around, gets caught out on timing. And Jacob, with so many opportunities to land frags, only is able to pick up one before getting traded out by a P250, and it just leaves the A site so open for the taking by the Tees. The failed smoke coming out here for fades as he will back up. He has got the AWP in hand, and CTs are looking to kind of control Banana here. But T's again playing this passive default, something that we see so common with Warwick, that maybe they're just not used to playing against a similar style to themselves.
Could definitely be the case. Warwick have just backed themselves off of Banana, not leaving Mason to his own devices here on this site any longer. You do have MFX able to be there and support him as Trinity. They'll decide to look towards top mid once again, getting some of those hopeful spans through the smoke and, you know, trying to do their best Astralis impression with kills through them, but not going to happen at this moment in time. Ekip will get that one refreshed. Expresso deep on towards the site. Warwick have just been very, very, very passive on this A side. They only go top mid, at least in the early round, to try and get a pick, and then if they can't get a pick, they just immediately fall back towards the site itself, giving away apartments and top mid map control away to the Irish team.
Yeah, allowing this T's to have such free mid control is just going to come back to bite them later on in the round when they're not sure which side they're going to hit. Fades is going to hit a shot straight onto Steven as Nigel takes down Ekip, moving into the site, and he's going to find a second here. The T's are looking to be closed out, and Nigel finds 4 frags in 1 mag of the AWP and takes all the T's down. Really well played by him and saves an AWP, allowing the CTs to pull out that double AWP setup. And again, the CTs fight back into it, bringing it 3-5 now. T's are going to look to just buy some upgraded pistols. They've given up on force buying, so they're just going to buy down to around $2,000 per person. See what they can do on this eco.
No one has won more than 1 round in a row since round 3. That is how back and forth this game is right now. But here goes the banana aggression from Trinity. They're able to catch MFX while he's trying to use utility. Mason will go down as well. Bomb site open for business for Trinity College Dublin to get themselves the bomb plant down. Warwick, do they even decide to go for the instant save here? That is the bigger issue. Trying to get those flashes in to try and make sure they're a little bit safer. Padge going back and trying to watch for any flank angle, but Fades has opened things up on this retake, though. That's a little bit of a leverage that Warwick can use here, but the thing is, Steven close range with the Deagle can catch out all these players and try to wrap their way through. Finds Jacob. Does he find Fades? No, he doesn't. Fades will dome him instead. Got a fire, though, in behind the gap in the smoke. Able to punish Expresso there, and now it's Fades in a 1 versus 2 situation. Bomb is very, very far gone, and got a fire will make it impossible for Warwick to win this round. Trinity string themselves 2 rounds together. Start.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit of a sloppy coming out from, as they do lose to a full only kind of a CC and a T-Glomp. That's apparently enough to from MFX's code dead, and so the Warwick are forced back onto Eco, and this is just die.
Having a little bit perhaps towards Banana once again. Doesn't land the one D onto Patch. Patch with the AWP and MFX punished on the repeat. Again, leaves Mason here in all on his own on the B bomb side. But the thing is, there has been a kill in towards Apartment Expresso with the, or Nigel as you like to call him, John, as he bails himself out of the apartments after getting. Fades will be tossed to Nikkei as well. That had been dropped from the Trinity Force players. So Fades retreats back to the site there, try and be a little bit more of an echo. And instead, he's actually going to toss us. This is quite interesting here from Warwick. Just making sure that everyone on their team has some form of good weaponry, or at least decent weaponry. That CC being dropped over, could be pivotal. It's a small thing, but the small things do add up. As the rest of this hit on towards the B site comes in for the Trinity Force. They'll actually push the smoke here. Mason pushed up with the Deagle, only able to find one. Fade's able to get the trades back. But the thing is, Trinity, they've got themselves towards the site though, there here, although very low, so very susceptible to the body shots here of these CZ. They still have to throw caution to the wind here. The CTs don't have any utility to try and retake this site with, so they have to rely on their trades, their aim, to be able to try and get that bomb defused. Lindsay and Steven, though, still very, very low HP. This all could go wrong for them, but Jacob's gone in all alone and knows exactly where these two Trinity Force players are now. Espresso can't do anything at all. Well worked retake defense there from Trinity Force, just holding that crossfire, so just in case the Warwick Stretchy boys do push them at the back of the site there, they're able to trade each other out. The trade wasn't even required though, since none of them went.
Yeah, just another clean round coming out from Trinity Force as they do move 7-3, just breaking that, finally getting around back to back. And the CTs are going to be able to buy into this. Nigel is rocking the CC, but the rest of the team have walls. They've managed to be able to kind of secure that early banana control that they've been failing to do so far into the game. So we'll see how long they can maintain that for as Mason pushes up close and Padge just looking to maybe just get a couple of shots through with the all. So hopefully we can continue into this round as no damage has been done. Oh, damage has been done onto MFX, but not much has been done onto anyone else really. As a minute 10 into the round.
The position, you can really support perhaps teammates trying to make their way through the apartments, and that's not just going to be in a full effect just yet. Still creeping their way up. Still 4 players from the Warwick Stretchy boys on this side of the map. They prefer to leave Mason all alone on that B site, but Trinity Force though, they still have a bit of a wall to go up against. Warwick have gotten them by, or at least a little bit of a lackluster buy coming into this particular round. In fact, they've already been tagged down to 16 so far. Espresso having to deal with that CZ as well. Trinity Force, though, they're going to, after showing some presence towards top mid, he'll actually be, well, he will be looking for the bomb. It's dropped towards the underpass, so he's going to have to crouch under that one and try and get that one back onto his back. But the time is of the essence here for the Irish side. 20 seconds remaining. They have to commit towards B at this point. Mason still all alone, pulling desperately for the rotates to come through. But the thing is, hit by him quickly, finds one, gets completely blind, though, and that will take him out of the equation. That could have been such a huge round there for Mason, but the workplace flashbang from Trinity Force means that he completely and utterly neutralized Ekip now. Posted up, waiting for those for the further push to come through from Warwick. Warwick not even going for this. They're going to back off and save on the A site. Oh, what could have been if Mason didn't get a full flash to the face there. Trying to mow down a couple of players. He tried to spray while blind there, I do admit there, John, but still wasn't able to find any frag whatsoever. Trinity Force, they must know now that this B-bomb site hold is weak for Warwick.
Yeah, definitely. And Mason hasn't really been able to find the frags. It's at 4 and 7 on the scoreboard, but just doing not enough work when these B hits are coming in, time out, just being able to be killed without finding 1 or 2 frags. That's all the B anchor's job is to do. Delay the push. Find a frag or 2. Just if you get 2, it's worth it. You've traded out, you've delayed, you've stalled, you've burnt out the utility. and he's just not able to do any of that right now. So we're just going to see the CTs again buy into this round, but 8 rounds on the T side is so good already. And we've got a couple more rounds to come as the B hits coming in faster as Mason spaced down 1 with the MP9, but again traded out 2 for 1. Not good enough here for the Warwick Stretchy boys as the Irish team just barrel out onto this B site and just so quick, such aggression is something that they haven't really been faced with before.
Seems like Trinity, they have many more tools in their toolkit to be able to take this map, and it's really, really showing right now. They're just one of the more patient, well, slightly more patient team than what we usually see sometimes in the UK leagues. Going very, very quiet, or at least, using that first portion of the rounds to try and explore around the map, try and gain as much information as they can, and then collapsing on towards the one of the 2 sites. But that time is a relatively fast play on towards B, and it still worked for them, and just been finding all of the entries so far. And Espresso and Co, well, they will be able to save a couple of weapons into this round. Warwick are actually going to go for a pause here because they absolutely desperately need to find out exactly what is going wrong. And it's not been one star player that they're having a problem with on Trinity. It has been the entire team. They are all so close on in terms of the frags. They are either on 6, 7, or 8 frags each for Trinity Force. And meanwhile, on Warwick, you've got Fades on 12. Everyone else hasn't got more than 6. So
yeah.
It's a team effort from the Irish side right now, and Warwick, they're just having a little bit of a nightmare trying to deal with it.
They are going to buy up into this round. So they're buying down to around 2-3k, just allowing them to kind of carry on in the half with a chance to buy up again. But they've got 3 rounds. They need to kind of clinch out this round and get the next 2, bring it back 9-6, have something more workable with when moving on to their T side. And so we're just going to see what Page can do, really, as he is stat above 100 ADR, and he's just going to increase that stat even further as he takes down God of Fire early on. Just going to be careful of the spam. Doesn't want to get caught out here. He's just going to make a quick escape. Sat on 40 HP, but that's a nice trade. He's having to do so much work for his team. He's having to find picks before he has to retake, essentially, for his team. If he can't win the round for himself, he's on the retake, and it's just not happening so far. So we're just going to see Warwick maintain 3 plays towards B, just supporting Mason here early on or late on into the round, as it is around 1 minute. And the T side is still trying to work out that map control, just trying to push the CTs back. Got Jacob and Fade set on this bomb site. They are both using the only 2 rifles on the CT side, so that will be the advantage for them. But Trinity Force grouping up back towards this A site. No banana info. The CT sides mean they're not able to rotate quickly.
Not at all. Here they come on towards the A site. Still 2 players here to try and defend. Lindsay making his way through the apartments. And Fate pushes it up on towards the balcony. Jacob gets himself into a little bit of a better angle on towards the site to try and defend the push all the way through short right now. This is fantastic delay work from Warwick, but the thing is the entry has gone the way of Trinity Force now. Padge is actually down to a single HP. We've got Ekip as well, down onto 28, so the players have been softened up here for Warwick Stretchy Boys on those SMGs and those Deagles as well. But it's still an inordinately more difficult retake here. Padge is posted up with the AWP as well. Warwick, they're trying to make their way through short. They will burst it, and they will go for the timing, going for 1, 2, 3, and just swing with me, boys. But it's not going to happen. Trinity going up to double digits and putting Warwick in the ground here in this first half.
Yeah, really nice trading coming out from Trinity Force, just being able to kind of break down that crossfire held by Fades and Jacob in that A bomb site. Just peeking, maybe not when necessary coming out from Jacob, just peeking around onto the short position whilst the players are already past him. So he does lose his life quite easily, but we're going to see a nice full buy come out, double auto setup. Will this be the kind of change that Warwick need to do to kind of grind themselves out one of these last 2 rounds? But shots almost taking out Jacob there, so just not on the right angle. So he's going to fall back, but again, their mid control is lacking. They give it up so freely. I want to see them contest it more. I want to see some maybe boosts around the smoke, just something more, something different, just to be able to give themselves more of a chance to get this early pick again, then look for a second, because in these 4-on-5 situations, Trinity Force have been excellent at working the map control, forcing the CTs back, and then hitting the site in a even stack situation. So we're just going to see MFX left alone on this B site, but has got deep control with Banana with the ult. So that's going to be crucial as the T's are grouping up back towards A.
Yeah, they are gaining apartments control. Warwick have been gifting it to them on occasion. MFX won't be able to find anyone just yet on this particular site. But meanwhile, the rest of the hit for the Trinity Force will be able to come up through mid. But the thing is, that's fantastic defensive frag there from Mason, finding one with the AUG. Jacob posted up with the AWP as well, has to land that shot, and Steven's there to be able to trade before that AWP can be recycled. But Steven and Padge now it's only Steven now in a 1 versus 4 situation for Trinity Force. Warwick working themselves back into this game. They're aiming to get this a 10-5 half. Will be 10-4 for now, but Trinity, they will have another buy up into this one at the end of this half. They'll have to force regardless, but they'll still be a very, very scary prospect for this Warwick side. Warwick need all the rounds they can get. They need this one, especially if they're going to have any chance on their T side.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there, Raptros. As they move on to this final round, the CT side, the double up setup worked in the last round, but Jacob playing a bit carelessly, only playing for one and done positions there, so did lose his life in the last round, so he's going to have to change things up as the T's are looking to do a bit of an Apps waterfall push here. Flash going to get set up from mid, and so Jacob's going to have to land some shots here, but he's going to put himself in a close position. Molotov comes down, he gets traded out quickly, as the Molotov does a lot of damage, but the CTs are isolated out this bomb site. And only E-Kip left remaining, just lurking late. And he's going to find the first frag here, just cutting down the CT rotation, not allowing them to retake. Swings out mid and gets taken down by Fades. As they're going to look to do a 3 or 4 retake. And there's a lot of positional control coming out from the T's. Molotov's getting dropped down to delay them even longer. Lindsay has a Molotov of his own, but Mason trying to maybe flush God of Fire out of position. Comes down, Molotov comes down, moves him out, but the trade isn't there. Fades takes down Lindsay Hole, and Face takes down Patch, and Steve trades out. Fades is going huge here, finding his 4 frags in the round already. 1 versus 1, time ticking. Ever gets to tag down. He's 1 HP in the smoke, cannot find the frag, and he's just going to have to back off there. Unfortunate for Face, he just can't do enough in these rounds. Every time, look at him, he's sat on 19 frags. None of his team have double digits yet. This man is doing too much work.
Yeah, and just as I've already said, it hasn't been individuals on the Trinity Force side that have been rolling over Warwick. It's been the entire team, just in general. They have absolutely fantastic depth in terms of the mechanical ability of their team. It seems like every one of those 5 Irish players can frag out, can entry frag, can hold angles for their team. It's going to be a struggle here from Warwick on their T side. Being only 4 rounds up on their CT side, that is not the most ideal situation here on Inferno. Maybe some other maps you can try and recover things on the T side, but Inferno is going to be a little bit more difficult than that. What the Warwick decided to do on this pistol run, they've made some presence known towards that B side of the map, just taking control of the banana position right now, but that's about the only thing they have done in this round so far. Just going to be all stacking up all 5 towards that side of the map. We do have some utility on MFX and Jacob to use. They can get that smoke down probably towards CT and towards the coffins, and then flash over. Molotov for the back of the site as well. Might be the order of the day here for Warwick, but here we go. There goes the utility out. Here comes the entries on towards the site. Steven trying to tap his way through the smoke. God of Fire, though, not going to be touched by that Molotov. Can do a huge amount of damage here. Finds Mason, finds MFX, trying to plant the bomb. Not looking at him at all. God of Fire will finally go down, but that's the cue for Steven to jump himself through the smoke. Espresso trades one back. Trinity Force have the advantage now in the 3 versus 2.
Yeah, God of Fire just being able to capitalize on the lack of communication coming out from Warwick. They seem tilted. The communication is breaking down. They need to recuperate. They need to mentally recover if they want to have a chance. And Fades is doing so much work. He finds a frag, evens it up back into a 2 versus 2, looking to take down one of the 2 players in construction. He's going to find the first. Knows where the second is now. So Espresso or Nigel takes him down, and they've recovered in that 2 versus 3. But my oh my, is closer than it should be. They had site control. The player is trapped in second oranges. So Molotov forced him in, but Mason doesn't check it. No, hears the shots. The shots are being put behind him, but doesn't know, doesn't turn, doesn't communicate it to MFX, who is planting. And it's just sloppy work coming out from Warwick. And it's really showing a little bit of a breakdown of the team.
It is. Utility being used on towards Banana. Steven just standing in the fire, trying to tap away. A lot of damage done to MFX, though. He's on that Mac 10 right now. Espresso's going to get himself tagged down as well. But the thing is, he ends up winning the gunfight. There's Espresso again, able to find Padge. So things are looking a little bit better here for the Warwick Stretchy boys, even though they are up against what is basically eco pistols at this moment in time. Godfire looks for the peak up towards the mid position and gets himself tagged as he tries to find his way back. But again, trying to find some aggression, trying to find these dinks with a P250 that can be oh so potent. Mason clearing out the site for Warwick to get themselves a bomb plant in. And now, no sloppy mistakes from this point forward for the UK boys.
Yeah, they're going to have to kind of play out this half flawlessly. It is doable. You know, getting 12 rounds or so on the T side is doable, especially if you can control the economy as well as the T side did before. But losing 2 frags to pistols is not ideal. It is the T side. It is a bit more forgiving, but FaZe is just going to find these eco frags, boosting up his ADR even more. But it's not ideal, and Jacobs does finally take down God of Fire, but it is doable. 6-11 now. They're going to move in onto a buy round from the CT side. They win this, they're forced back onto an eco. You know, you just got to play it round by round, grinding out. Even if you lose a round, you're going to have to say, I'm going into this round, I need to do economic damage. We need to find 3 kills at least every round and win most of the round if they want to have any chance to come back in this. We're going to see 4 orgs coming out from the CT side. Nigel just waiting for the banana control that isn't going to be taken by the CT side. Lack of utility. They've only got 1 smoke left on Steven, and that is over towards the A bomb site. So this B bomb site is looking vulnerable, as there is no Molotovs, no utility to really do anything. So they're going to flash in and gain that banana control, but we'll see the fight go in the favor of MFX. And so that's really crucial for them.
Yeah, man advantage going the way of Warwick Stretchy boys. Going to have to be God of Fire on this B side to try and defend if Warwick do decide to head their way. It's, well, at least early on in the round was as a slightly more default setup like you see in MM, face it, etc. with 2 towards B, 3 towards A, 1 on long, 1 on short, 1 in pit area or site area. That is usually the setup, but Trinity, they're feeling... They should be feeling confident right now. Maybe not in this particular round with the man disadvantage, but with just the amount of rounds that they have in the lead right now. We do have a player in towards CT for them, though, as rotated back towards this B bomb site as Warwick, they'll throw the utility over, flashes through, God of Fire sitting at Dark, or Emo, as Henry G loves to call it. And now he's just going to let them out, let them approach the site and then peek out when they least expect it. He's able to find 1 EK, he's able to find 1 on the defense as well. That's 1 more going the way of God of Fire now. 3 versus 3. And now Warwick can get themselves the bomb plant in at least. That's at least a good cash injection going their way, but they need rounds. They don't need money right now.
Yeah, definitely. They need to maintain this 3 versus 3. Nigel getting tagged down a little bit. Flash comes out, but gonna have to hold on. The pressure's getting to them as the CTs are looking to retake here. Something that Warwick couldn't really do before. And the Molotovs come down, but Nigel escapes the hands of it so quickly and finds Padge and finds down Steven, looking to get another frag into this round, and Ekips takes him down with the ult. But that's so good from Nigel just to be able to get those 2 frags on the fade away. And we're going to see the T's back away here. Just going to have to try and survive from the bomb, but really nice work by Nigel coming out in that 3 versus 3 post-plant situation just to clinch out it for the Warwick Stretchy boys as they do move 7-11. So a couple more rounds, they'll even it up, and then it's all fair game from there on out. But it's not looking too good for Warwick. They're playing very sloppily so far. Just they're not really communicating as well as they could be, and as well as they have been. Kind of, we've seen how good they can be. They've won 3 seasons of the NUEL back-to-back, and coming into this international tournament, they seem to be taking it a bit too relaxed.
The scoreline sits at a US convenience store, but this is a European championship. MFX looking for the entries up and towards Banana. Not going to be greeted with anything just yet. Trinity have been quite happy just to let Warwick take Banana here. It's not what you often see teams decide to do, but they're feeling like they can win the aim deals on the site itself. They haven't done so for the past couple of times, so maybe a little bit of change of philosophy required for Trinity to gain a couple of CT rounds back. Try and stop the momentum for the Warwick Stretchy boys right now as they'll decide to head themselves out towards mid. They found the kill on that side of the map as well. Steven will go down on long. But Warwick, they don't decide to press any further just yet. They know the bomb is in towards ramp, so if they commit to anything now, then it's going to be a while for that bomb to come back to them. They've baited the rotations off as well. So just 2 on this side to try and defend. Padge in the pit was so huge in the early rounds here, but it looks like the Warwick Stretchy boys, they're going to head towards long, wrap onto it towards this A bomb set, but Ekip is here, already posted up on the angle. Able to get the triple spray down for Ekip. Warwick, they have no route on towards this bomb site unless Mason and Fades have anything to say about it. They have the site secure now. Trinity, despite all their efforts, they might still win this, 1 versus 1 situation now. Lindsay picks up an AWP. Mason getting aggressive with the AWP now. And Lindsay taking the AK instead gives Mason an opportunity to peek around the corner as soon as he saw an AWP fly across his vision.
Yeah, Lindsay there just giving his position away with the AWP, just dropping it over to the AK. Really well played coming out from Ekip there, just being able to control that unscoped AUG spray, something a bit uncommon for most players, but he does manage to get 3 frags there, but Fade's playing it so well, trades out, doubles back, doesn't immediately return to site, goes aggressive, finds the frag in the 2 versus 2, brings it to 2 versus 1, gets caught out, but Mason able to clutch out then. Close rounds again and again, but the double setup is now out on the CT side. We're going to see God of War hold 1 on towards the Coffin's position. We're going to see Padge hold 1 over towards the long on A. So this is some crucial positions. Without good flash communication, the Warwick Stretchy boys could lose an early frag, but the nade bounces off the rim of the door. Mason survives a bit unscathed.
No damage done. No damage done right now to either side. Trinity still with that double upset that you quite rightfully mentioned, John, earlier on in this round. Let's see if they're able to make such an investment work, and they simply have to make it work. You can't be losing that double upset up the round that you pull it out. It's too much invested into the round to have to do that. But Warwick, they've made their presence known up towards top mid, throwing bits of utility over, and then they're going to double back and go towards Banana and prepare for the rest of their utility to be thrown on towards this B site. But Trinity Force, they haven't moved from their default since the start of this round. They've got a fire posted up with the AWP, gets flashed off the angle at least briefly. He's able to find one through the smoke. That's MFX going down, gets traded out by Expresso though. Now Lindsay on this site with the AUG has to hold strong, can't do so. Nigel finds the openings and Trinity instantly backing off.
Yeah, Nigel and FaZe just doing so much work. Nigel's really stepped up onto this T side, finding so many entries, finding so many frags, closing out clutches. And he's brought himself up close to 17 frags. Fade's on 26, but again, the rest of the Warwick boys lacking behind 9, 7, and 5 for Mason, Original G, and MFX, which is just not enough. It's kind of a 2-man show right now for Warwick, as they do edge themselves 9 to 11, and so they are grinding back the rounds. It is doable. They just need to keep playing. The utility management on Trinity Force has been a bit wasteful. They're forcing up too much and not allowing themselves a lot of utility for the CT side, and losing the up down on Padge is a huge misplay here. Steven going to be the only player left alive for the CT side after trying to save 2 orgs and an AWP. Losing around $8,000 worth of utility and equipment is not good enough, and Steven's going to drop an angry spray there just to show his emotion. Just to us, but we're going to see the ult come out for Jacob as the CT side again go for a force, and they've got max loss bonus, so they will be able to buy more utility, but they're going to stack forward towards that B bomb site. And they're just going to send the AUG alone towards A to try and keep the T's away, but we'll see how this round pans out, Raptros.
We will see. Nigel throwing the bits of utility over. Trinity still have 3 towards this side of the map, so that's a little bit of an adaptation that they've made on what is sort of a half-buy round for them, just finding pistols up around that AUG, but again, Espresso, Nigel finding the entries on towards the B site. The man's an absolute animal on the T side here. Was kind of missing in action a little bit on that CT side, but when he's on the attack, he is a very, very potent entry fragger indeed. Mason will take one out of the equation as well. That's got a fire going down. And now it's only Lindsay and Steven to try and do some damage here to the Warwick Stretchy boys. They haven't been able to build up much of a bank, so the more kills that Steven can get here, the better. Espresso finds a third. Finds a third. Looking good for the 4K, but nope, that's going to be FaZe getting the last kill of the round. And Warwick, they're making this comeback work. They are within striking distance. They are within 1 round now. But Trinity, they have a buy to make sure they don't get overtaken.
Yeah, definitely. And Nigel really stepping it up here. On that CT side, it was difficult for him to find so many frags as he was playing over towards the A bomb site, and they were constantly trying to retake B, constantly on eco. So now they've got the good economy. Now he can go where he wants. He's finding a lot more freedom, a lot more potential to find the frags. So I'm going to see 5 orgs come out, 5 orgs come out for the CT side. A lot more scary than 5 orgs, I might say. As T's just try and get that banana control. But again, only 2 Molotovs or 3 Molotovs left on the side of Trinity Force, so they're going to have to use those kind of sparingly. Don't want to waste them on the tiniest presence of the T's. So we're just going to see 1 towards, or yeah, 1 towards A, and that's 1 towards B, sorry, 2 towards A, and so that's not really kind of helpful if they're going to go for that B hit. The Molotov's much more helpful for shutting down that. We're going to see the T side group up. Just try and keep the CT rotation in place. That's just going to be Nigel's job, just to keep them held there as the T's do group up back towards A, and they're going to try to burst out. They've got that mid control. They're looking for the picks now. As Mason does double up back. I think they're going to go for B here.
They are. It's something they have done on occasion. Just show presence towards A, double back, go towards B, and hope that Trinity is starting to second guess themselves here, but got a fire with the flash over. Just going to delay things somewhat. Espresso here going to be, well, was going to be leading the charge, gets overtaken by Mason, so he'll be the first to try and open up this site. No kills going away of either side right now, as Warwick out on towards the site now. Mason able to find the first kill of the round, and now got a fire behind the smoke. Looks for the spray through on towards MFX. Fade will go down to the hand of Padge, though, looking up through CT. So 4 versus 4 post-plant situation for both teams right now. Trinity, they can definitely go for this if they find maybe at least 1 more pick. If they don't, and the time's too far gone, there we go. There's the pick. There's the Molotov. Burning Espresso alive. And now Mason posted up with the AK. He's not able to find the double spray down. 1 versus 1 situation now. Godfire versus Jacob. Jacob with the AWP. Pulls out the pistol. Tries to find Godfire, but God, he's just going to back off this one. He's not even going to go for it. Not even going to go for the 1v1. As soon as he hits the defuse on that bomb there, Jacob basically has a free kill to peek up with the AWP.
Yeah, really well played. Just playing time, just doesn't want to overcommit, get the frag towards God of Fire. And that was a really nice retake attempt coming out from Trinity Force, just cut down by the players' just ability to spray down a couple and trade out effectively. As we are going to see Warwick Stretchy Boys finally even it back up with Trinity Force. I don't think they've been on par with the scoreline really since us, or ever in this game, so they claw that way back in, and they're going to hopefully, the pressure won't mount too much as they'll give up a couple of rounds for free, but we're going to see the CTs bite up again. No Molotovs again. A growing trend from this Trinity Force team. Obviously with the Orgs, you're able to take much more effective aim duels on the CT side, but the Molotovs are Inferno, the utility, the smokes, the flashes, they're so much more helpful in situations where they're trying to execute. The flash can delay a team by several seconds, and that's just enough time to buy rotations, you know. And as this moves on, this could be the key factors to why Trinity Forces lost this map if it does continue to go this way, as they haven't won a single CT round. There have been several close rounds, but all have gone the way of Warwick.
They're doing the best Warwick impression, perhaps, but wow, 11-11, all even. Trinity arguably backs up against the wall on the CT side. They haven't been able to find a round just yet, but got a fight with the timing, spray through the smoke, able to tag down Espresso down to 80 HP. He'll decide to rotate towards the arch. Still 2 players on this side, and then, oh my god, Lindsay's not aware of that at all. The double spray down for Padge is there, but Espresso able to eventually trade out. Now got a fire. First point of contact in this 3 versus 3 post plant. Jacob with the AWP on short, though, can watch for all of this aggression heading his way. Lands the flick up on towards Ekip. It lands a second AWP kill onto God of Fire as well. Stephen now in a 1 versus 3. He's going to back out immediately. Warwick Stretchy Boys will take the lead, and a pause will come out for the Irish side as well. They need to figure out what's going wrong and fast.
Yeah, Warwick coming out with a nice strat there, changing out the pace, smoking off library, going down, and just causing God of Fire just to move from that library position to archers, and they capitalize. The Warwick Stretchy Boys capitalize on that rotation and swing out long and catching the player in pit off guard and forcing out the frags as Steven does manage to save the M4A4, as they are going to be able to kind of move on into this, losing for the first time in this game. So they've called the pause. So they're going to have to talk about how they should go about these next couple of rounds. The comeback is well and truly on. It's happening, boys.
I think, kind of, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think what they're falling foul of is very similar to Warwick were falling foul of on their CT side. I didn't mention it at the time, but they were just holding so passive in their defaults. They weren't actively trying to gain any form of map control at all on their CT side. And when you're giving away areas like banana, top mid, apartments as a CT side, that's going to make your job so much more difficult when you're inside that final 40 seconds of the round and trying to figure out which site it's going to be. I'd like to see an aggressive play here from Trinity Force. Either down mid, throw a couple of smokes to cover off your cross from second mid, throw flashes, Molotovs deep into here, try and gain control of mid, and then just cause a couple of problems for Warwick because they're giving so much space here. Here comes the utility on towards banana to try and take it for Trinity though, but the thing is, that's just utility for utility's sake right now. Steven over the top of the smoke. This is more the aggressive play I'm trying to talk about. Over on towards the half wall, but not able to find the frag at all. Treasure's there, looking for the tag through the smoke as well. That's more like it for Trinity Force, but fortunately for them, it didn't happen that time.
Yeah, they expended so much utility to try and maintain banana control, but Nigel pushes up past the Molotovs, drops the smoke at top banana, and doesn't allow the CTs to kind of push through and capitalize, and he will find us another frag traded out there by God of Fire, but 4 versus 3 is really not ideal for the CT side when they have no utility left. The full rotation has kind of come in. There's only one player left edging towards a B rotation on long. The C's are just going to buy their time. They don't really know where to commit, but they are going to move back towards that B site. And that's going to be possibly the wrong choice here, but they don't really know where the rotation is. It could go either way. So they're going to look to trade out here. MFX is sat low on HP, so doesn't want to kind of drop down early, but playing by Bogdan's law, he has got the AWP in hand. So the CTs are going to be forced out by Molotov. Doesn't know where to play, but got a fire playing close and finds one frag, but Fades finds this transfer and Pad just completely whiffs the AUG shot. And it's going to be left in a 1 versus 3. Lindsay Holan left to do it all. Has got the FAMAS in hand. Smoking a flash, no kit, but there will be one somewhere in sight. So they're going to call another pause. By calling that pause, it's probably too late for Lindsay Holan to be committing to this retake, as he hasn't found an early entry into the site and he's just going to hover around. But I think he's lost all hope for this, as he will maybe try and find the next.
And look up towards Coffins. It's very, very late indeed, but Jacob will spot him out. Warwick Stretchy Boys then up to 13. Another timeout for Trinity Force. Again, you just need to try and figure this one out, and you still have not got a CT round on the board right now. 9 rounds in a row going the way of the Warwick Stretchy Boys. You can't allow them that sort of momentum to try and build up this money as well, because even if Trinity win a round here, they'll still be faced with a good couple of full buys before this one is done. So this is looking pretty dire right now for Trinity. At least something right now to try and stem the bleeding in terms of Warwick's trying to get these rounds. So I like a little bit of a play that they had on, but you get those, you get your full. They're on their half buy here, so they won't be able to build up fire fill utility. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, John, with them not buying those Molotovs, and those Molotovs are actually going to take side the entire and then push behind.
Yeah, Molotovs are really key for a core aggressive forced by from the CT side. Got a buy just try to spam through the smoke. It's not going to emulate as the CTs are typed by wall quite the early rotation here after finding the frag on Mason. They picked up the AK and the Swarbang almost takes down Nigel as he gets tagged down low, and so does Jacob as the CTs are edging ever closer but another way, and they're looking to find their first round on the board. The T's just have to delay Fades looking for their frag. Steven taken down by Nigel taken down by, and now it's left by Fades 1 versus 3, completely doable. He's been impressing us all, but just can't find it so far around as they do drop the AKs around. They're going to get their first round in the CT.
Yep, they will. And apologies for how our Discord server is treating us right now. Partnered server, by the way. Thank you very much to Discord. But we will continue on here in this particular matchup. Warwick Stretchy Boys 13th and Trinity Force getting them first CT round on the board, but they have to avoid the reset here. Otherwise, all of that work would be for nothing. Deep smoke in towards Banana now, and they've got the Molotovs down in as well. The Express going to burn a little bit, so a little bit more presence here shown on Banana for the Trinity Force. They have committed behind it, though. They've fallen back towards the site. Thing is, they're going to take map control elsewhere. They've got 2 players in towards the walls as well. Bait Mason with the flash, it's good, and Fades is there to be able to trade both of them. Warwick Stretchy Boys with the man advantage now in a 4 versus 3. Trinity Force, they are on the edge of getting themselves reset here, and that will basically be them done.
Yeah, but they have got a lot of economy, saving a lot of weapons by winning that force buy. It has put them in a better economical state, allowing them to buy into the next round. If they do lose this one, they're gonna have to save some weapons. So, but Fades managing to trade out on Mason's mist spray. As the T's gather up towards Banana, only 1 CT left on that site, and that is Steven. Got an AK in hand. How many heads can he find? He's going to find the first one there on the fadeaway. He finds the second.
Whoa.
Can't get the third, though. Really nice work from him, evening it up into 2 versus 2. The CTs, they have got a kit. They have got 2 flashes. Will they go for this retake? It is a round they have to win.
They're sort of caught in 2 minds about it. That CT smoke will fade, gives them another route in towards the site if they decide to go for this. Warwick arguably just can't give Trinity Force an inch right now. Both sitting at the back of the site. Fades at Emo. Got Jacob at New Box as well. As Trinity, they have to make their way in. Close range to the EWB isn't going to work as Fades find him. Jacob is able to be there to find Parge as well. As now that Warwick have gotten their 14th, they can basically taste match point at this stage. Just need 1 more to get to that point. Trinity Force, they're actually going to force up into this one. They want this win. They don't want to try and force overtime in the next round. They are grabbing this game by the horns, but are they going to be gouged?
Yeah, they're going to force up into this round. Apparently, they've done their best work on the CT side with the upgraded pistol, so maybe they should have just bought more utility, as we are going to see a couple of players on that CT side with little utility, but Mason getting taken down by Ekip's aggressive push from balcony there. Long range short, just so easy to take with the AUG. Just going to see the T's for, I think, the first time in a long time going down 4 versus 5, and is the pressure going to be too much for them? They've been on a great comeback, going from 11-4 down in the half to 14-12 now. So many rounds in a row. Nigel's just going to send a smoke over towards CT as the T's do still wait towards top mid. Just going to maintain the rotation. And we're going to see how much work Fades and Nigel can do. They've been the key players, star players. Fades sat on 34 frags now to 9 deaths. Just so much better than anyone in the server right now. Nigel on 24 frags doing a lot of work. We're going to see the T slowly edge over towards A. The rotation hasn't budged an inch. The CTs are playing like a rock. They're not kind of going to be fooled by anything. Just going to maintain where they are. And Pi's just playing in towards the arch position. The T's do group up out towards mid.
29 seconds left in this round. Warwick Stretchy Boys. No one in Banana, everyone towards this A side of the map. The long smoke will come down through. Lindsay on top of the balcony. What can he do with that? CZ75 drops off of that one. Padge is able to get one on the slight defense, though, as the trades will go either way. But Ekip is spraying them down with the AUG. And now it is only 8 seconds for MFX to get this bomb plant. 1 versus 2 situation to try and gain map point here for Warwick. CT's encroaching on his position, not wasting any time at all. MFX on top of the box won't be able to find any of them. Trinity Force have a lifeline now. 13th round. And Warwick, they have a lot of thinking to do now to try and find these map points. They're so close to be able to be getting it right now, but Trinity Force, they are not going down without a fight. They took a couple of losses on that particular round, so they'll have a little bit of discussion to make in terms of what is brought up here. We'll have to see Lindsay actually go down on towards a FAMAS, buying up that utility. Warwick will still be okay in terms of the weaponry. They're bringing out 5 AKs, but if they lose this round, Trinity have a very good chance at either forcing overtime or getting themselves the map win themselves.
Yeah, this is kind of the most crucial round. Win this round, they break the economy of either team. Obviously, if the CTs do save a lot of players, it's not all over for them, but Nigel buying up a scout early on into this round, dropping it over for a dropped AK by FaZe, just kind of harm his economy a little bit more. Just pressure getting to them a little bit as T's have got that full banana controls and CT's not looking to retake so far, so they're just going to leave Nigel posted up by tree, just doesn't want to give away an early frag while the T's do regress towards that A apartment, get more map control, force the CTs back, weigh up their options and see where they can go. As they maintain a lot of their utility, they've got 4 smokes, a couple of Molotovs, as they are just going to execute out towards mid, just going to get that map control as the CTs are looking a little bit indecisive, but no rotations have come in so far.
Yeah, they are very confident in their defaults right now. Ekip gonna get himself close behind the smoke. Is hit by the grenade as he tries to fall back through Arch, but that's the opening for Jacob, an opening for Warwick Stretchy Boys now to try and take this entire game. Jacob finding one more as well. Lindsay trying to hold strong in towards the pit, and Jacob again is able to find 3 on the site entry. Trinity Force, they are not even deciding to go and try and retake A. They'll have to play for overtime here. Warwick will get their 15th and on the edge of going to that grand final versus either Poland or Germany.
Yeah, Jacob really stepping up there. He's not really been having the performance he's usually known for. And so have a lot of the Warwick players. But Steven does find a frag then. They're going to save these 2 rifles at the moment, but the T's are hunting, as it will help kind of boost their, or break the economy of the CTs. But Jacob having a wonderful performance entering and getting 3 frags onto the A site, catching Ekip off guard, who was just not ready for the smokes to come down. This again, Warwick's wide depth of strategy allows them to kind of clinch out that round, but they're going to take it to match point 15-13. CTs are going to force back into this. They have to. They've saved the up. They've saved the AK. They're going to drop some pistols and UMPs over. And we're going to see the T's full buy up, obviously, as the CTs look to kind of grind back one more round just to bring it to another match point. And they're going to try and take it to overtime here, but they've missed Molotov. And that's kind of been the storyline, just sloppy plays all around here in Warwick. They're looking close to pulling off this comeback. What can the ult do for this CT side? Steven gonna have to do it, but the flash comes in for the banana control, and Ekips takes down MFX on the fadeaway, and that's really not great for the Warwick side here, as they've lost a player early on with no damage being returned. All the utility is kind of being thrown out by the CT sides early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Warwick going 1 man down early on in this round. Trinity gonna look to try and retake banana here, perhaps, or at least I thought they were when they were pulling out the nades there, but decided to throw the single HE grenade and then back off to slightly more passive positions, as they have done so throughout this entire game so far on this A bomb site. And here comes Expresso looking for the entry. He's not able to find it. Ekip gets the trade, or rather Fade gets the trade back, but Paj now on this site with a deagle has to do so much work, but Fade's around the corner, takes him out of the equation, and now Warwick Stretchy Boys 3 versus 3, post plant for them. Molotov to keep Trinity Force back and away from a grand final. Steven almost lands a shot on towards Jacob there, as he'll have to get aggressive. The flash through the smoke from his teammates, the entirety of the Irish side, and no way through towards the smoke now. Fade able to line up 2, and it's going to be the 3rd, and as well, Jacob has won Warwick Stretchy Boys this game here against the Trinity Dublin side. 16-13 at the end there. What a comeback there from a very lackluster first half for Warwick on their CT side. Only able to pick up 4 rounds in the entire first half, but they had the staying power. They had the momentum built up on their T side to make sure that they can get themselves to that final.
Oh my god, what a performance by Fades there. 38 frags in regulation time. So much work being done. Fragging it like a monster there. Shovel hands being put to the maximum potential, just scooping up all the Irish players and putting them in the bin. And he single-handedly carried his team to that win. Without him performing to the level he has done, that was a clear win for the Trinity College Dublin team any day. But FaZe really put his team on his back there and just carried them to a victory. And what a comeback from them, just from 11-4 down, just to bring it back 16-13. And we're going to see Warwick Stretchy Boys from the UK move on towards the grand finals, and they're going to play against the Polish side.
Poland.
Who's,
okay.
name I won't pronounce because I don't want to butcher it. Yeah, and I'm hearing from the producer, they won 16-8 against Germany, so a lot more convincing win. So they've had a lot of time to rest and recuperate. So we're gonna head over to a quick break now, as we're just gonna chill out for a minute, just get a glass of water, and come back soon as we're gonna move over towards Poland versus UK.